14th of April 2019, Sunday. Sergey Baklykov, continue my video blog. In my videos you often see such red double-deckers that is riding through the historical city center of St. Petersburg. This is so-called city sightseeing buses. They have two routes. The first one is a so-called red route. It goes through the Nevsky and the historical city center. And the second one is a green route, so-called Parade St. Petersburg. I guess parade from the points of view of the sea, because it goes mostly through the embankments of the central district, Vasilievsky Islands and Petrograd side. Today I'm gonna take a ride at this bus, you know. We'll get inside. Come on, come on. The start point for all these double-deckers is St. Isaac's Cathedral. However, it works as hop-on, hop-off. It makes a lot of stops during the routes where you can hop off and then hop off again on the next one. They works every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But I believe in the summertime even longer, because, you know, in the summertime the life in St. Petersburg just begins. Here is a free audio guides on 12 languages. Headphones goes for free. The CIA calls us a propaganda machine. Find out what we call the CIA RT ? That's the advertisement of leading Russian English language TV channel in Russia.
Let's go. Yeah. Take your water back.
Let's get to the second floor. It's pretty comfortable to take a ride here, as in the winter time, as in the summertime. And the best seats is the front seats on the second floor, because that's where you can have like 360 panorama. All the way through the route you can listening for the comments. You're getting such a headphones, and here you just select your language. 12 languages here. We start the way from St. Isaac's Cathedral, but it is also possible to hop on at one of 17 quick stops the bus is making during the drive through this red line route. A full circle takes about 1 hour 30 minutes. It goes through Nevsky, parts of the historical city center, and palace embankment across Neva River. The tickets available for 24, 48 and 72 hours. The price vary from 12 to 20 bucks, depends on how many days the tickets for and the category per person. Let's say the kids or students, some cheaper. Also, there is some family deals. From St. Isaac's Cathedral we turn to the left and make a circle around St. Isaac's Square. Here is now Mariinsky Palace, where is at the moment St. Petersburg Legislative Assembly office located. Now we drive across the Moika River and so-called Blue Bridge, the widest bridge in St. Petersburg. From the right side there are the legendary Astoria and Angleterre hotels. Note there is a couple of good cafes with a great view to St. Isaac's Cathedral. Now we go through Vasilievsky Prospect and see the spire of the Admiralty, which is surrounded with an Alexander Garden founded in 1874 and named after the Emperor Alexander II. From Admiraltysky Prospect, now we turn to the right to the very beginning of Nevsky Prospect, the main street of the city, which goes next after Winter Palace and Palace Square. We'll now drive through Nevsky Prospect until the Square of Revolt. The lettering on the wall became the real monument to the victims of the siege of Leningrad. The caption there, "While shelling, this side of the street is the most dangerous." Now from the left it is an arch of the General Staff. If you're on Palace Square, you can get to Nevsky through that arch. Now, the first of three rivers that cross Nevsky, it's Moika River. The intersection with Большая Konюшенная streets, like a big horse stall street, it leads to former main emperor's stalls. Kazanskaya Street from the right and Kazan Cathedral built in 1811 by Russian architect Andrei Voronikhin. In front of Kazan Cathedral, the House of Zinger, the House of Book, were now really a huge bookstore. It is already an intersection with Griboyedov Canal. In the end of this, there is a church of the Savior on spilled blood. The red tower is the City Duma. In front, there's Mikhailovskaya Street, where we'll get back yet. Next to Duma, on the same side, goes Гостиный двор, guest yard. It's an old historical mold built in 1785. A little bit after Гостиный двор, the famous, beautiful store by merchants Yeliseyev brothers, built in 1903. Very beautiful as inside as outside. In front of Yeliseyev's store, there is the Alexandrinsky Theater and Catherine's Garden. Moving forwards from the right, it's Anoushka Palace, where it's now a huge center for kids' creativity. And next to it, the embankment of Fontanka River and famous Anoushka Bridge, with 4 sculptures of very athletic guys holding the horses. It was the last third river crossing Nevsky. It's the intersection with Mayakovskaya Street, named after the famous Russian poet Vladimir Mayakovsky. Now we are already at the Square of Revolt, or the Square of Uprising. This round building is the entrance to the metro station. Next to it, Oktyabrskaya Hotel with a huge caption on the top. Leningrad is the city hero. Leningrad, the former name of St. Petersburg. Moscow railway station has started from the name the trains to Moscow, including the high-speed Sapsan train, depart and arrive from here. We actually turned around the Square of Revolt and go backwards by Nevsky until Mikhailovskaya Street. You remember where is the City Duma? And I told you that we will get back to this yet. So we will get back and we will turn to the right. From the left now is the composer Anton Rubinstein Street, the most restaurant streets in the city. Going through Anichkov Bridge again and Fontanka River. Yeliseyev store again, but now I film the lower parts of the store. Гостиный двор, guest yards. Now we turn to the right, going by Mikhailovskaya Street. It's a short street between St. Petersburg City Duma and the Russian Museum. Now you can see the Russian Museum and Mikhailovsky Square before the museum with a statue of Alexander Pushkin. Also, unfortunately, can't show now, but right behind now St. Petersburg State Philharmonic, named after Dmitry Shostakovich. Turn to the right to Engineer Street and Mikhailovsky Castle. All these Mikhailovsky places, you know, the street, square, castle, there's also garden named after Archangel Michael, Mikhail. Mikhailovsky Castle. Next to Mikhailovsky Castle, this round building is the big state circus founded in 1877. Look, the retro tram that is also rides as a tour tram. I see there is the guy in the Soviet Army uniform of 1940s. We cross Fontanka River again, but just through another bridge. Belinsky Bridge, and here before the church of Simeon and Anna we turn to the left to Mokhovaya Street. You know, in Moscow, Mokhovaya is one of the streets that goes along the Moscow Kremlin. Here is not. At the nearest intersection, we turn to the left to Pastel Street, named after Pavel Pastel, the leader of Decembrists. The church in front of us is Panteleimon Church. All over St. Petersburg, the guys are cleaning the streets out of dust after winter. The bridge, like a church, is also called Panteleimon Bridge. It also goes across Fontanka River. This is Vasilievsky Castle again, but just from another side. In front of Vasilievsky Castle, here is the summer garden, and exactly this one is Marsovo Pole, Marsovo Fields. It has nothing in common with the planet Mars. Now turn to the embankment of Griboyedov Canal, and this is the Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood, constructed on a place where the carriage of Alexander II was exploded, built in 1904. We again now cross Moika River, but just from Kanyushiny Lane, not from Nevsky. At this place we turn to Million Street. It's like a million streets located on the shore of Neva River. It's one of the oldest streets on the city, named after the Million's house of the Count Sheremetyev. This house amazed with its luxury. That's why the Million House. All these buildings located next to Winter Palace on the first line of the embankments of Neva River were belonging to only the highest persons of the Russian Empire government. We now turn to the embankment of Moika River and we'll drive through the Palace Square. Yellow building is the general staff. On the background, St Isaac's Cathedral, Admiralty. In the center, Alexander Column and Winter Palace, now State Hermitage. Getting back to Million Street, and amazing huge sculptures of Atlants holding the portico of the building of new Hermitage. Now we go backwards by Million Streets that turn to the left before the Marble Palace, which is literally made of marble. We turn to Marble Lane and then to the Palace embankments. It actually goes parallel to Million Streets, all the same buildings here. That's what is the first line of the embankments of Neva River looks like. From here we can see Peter and Paul Fortress, the first thing based in St. Petersburg in 1703, the place where from St. Petersburg began. The boat now goes on the background of the spits of Vasilievsky Island and its rostral columns. State Hermitage, Palace Bridge. Palace Bridge and the statues of lions on ferry look so great. Palace Bridge is the most famous drawbridge of St. Petersburg. This is now already an Admiralty embankment, and we almost got back. Alexander Garden again, St. Isaac's Cathedral, and famous bronze horseman statue on Senate Square dedicated to Peter the Great. You see now the former Senate building, where is now located the Constitutional Court of Russia. Alexander Garden, St. Isaac's Cathedral. We turned to the right and actually we came back to the place where the city sightseeing buses parking. That was the route number 1, so-called red line, red route. Now it's time for the second green line, зеленая линия, but that is watch already in the next video. Stay tuned, comment, like and subscribe. See you.